This is the story of a marriage the music industry forgot, and the old interview that's making everybody remember. When Nivea and The-Dream split in 2008, she put out a statement calling it a mutual decision, said all the right things, thanked him publicly, kept it classy. But years later, in an interview that is now going viral all over again, she took every bit of that back. She said, "It was a mutual agreement to call it quits. I'm lying, it's not. We're supposed to say that, but it's not true. It wasn't no mutual agreement. He wanted to do it, I didn't, but it's done. I'm dealing with it." She corrected herself mid-sentence, went from the PR answer to the real answer in the same breath. And that clip, along with what she revealed about what she actually walked away with after that marriage, is the reason people cannot stop talking about Nivea and The-Dream right now. And with everything that's come out about Dream since then, including a federal lawsuit filed against him in 2024 with very serious allegations, people are going back to everything Nivea said and hearing it completely differently. But before we get to what she said, y'all need to understand who Nivea was before this marriage, because this was not some random person. Nivea B. Hamilton was born March 24, 1982, in Atlanta, Georgia, youngest of 3 sisters, grew up singing in church. She broke onto the scene featured on Mystical's Danger Been So Long, which hit #1 on the R&B and hip-hop chart in January 2001. She signed to Jive Records, the same label that had Britney Spears and NSYNC, and then came the song that changed everything. Don't Mess With My Man featuring Jagged Edge dropped in June 2002 and hit #8 on the Billboard Hot 100. It earned her a Grammy nomination for Best R&B Performance by a duo or group with vocals at the 45th Annual Grammy Awards in 2003. Her self-titled debut album hit #1 on Billboard's Heat Seekers chart, peaked at number 80 on the Billboard 200, and sold 134,000 copies by early 2003. She was 20 years old with a top 10 hit and a Grammy nomination. I know y'all remember that era. Nivea was a name. She was also previously engaged to Lil Wayne. That engagement fell apart in 2003 after Wayne convinced her to leave music entirely and then called it off. I've covered that story in another video, but the point is, by the time Nivea met The-Dream, she had already been through it. She'd already lost a career and a relationship, and she was looking for something stable. Now, The-Dream? Most people know him for writing hits for everybody else, but before all that, he was Nivea's husband. His real name is Terrius Youngdell Nash, born September 20, 1977 in Rockingham, North Carolina. His mother passed when he was 15. He became one of the most successful songwriters in modern music. He co-wrote Umbrella for Rihanna in 2007, Single Ladies for Beyoncé in 2008, Touch My Body for Mariah Carey, Baby for Justin Bieber, and later Break My Soul and Cuff It for Beyoncé's Renaissance album. 8-time Grammy winner. And in July 2018, he sold a 75% interest in his 302-song catalog to Hypnosis Songs Fund for $23.25 million, keeping the remaining 25%. That detail is going to matter in a second. He met Nivea while working on her music. By her account, they got engaged within about a month of dating. They married in December 2004. He produced her second album, Complicated, which dropped in May 2005 and hit number 37 on the Billboard 200. On paper, this should have been a power couple. She had the Grammy nomination, he was the hitmaker behind the biggest songs on the radio, but what actually happened inside that marriage is what people can't stop talking about. Because Nivea had 3 kids with this man in roughly 11 months. Their daughter Navy Talia Nash was born May 10, 2005. Their twin sons London and Christian Nash were born April 19, 2006. 3 children under the age of 2. And then on December 10, 2007, The-Dream filed for legal separation. The divorce was finalized on June 15, 2008. Now, here's his side of it. Dream told an interviewer, "I decided to end it because I didn't want to take this person and treat them a certain way based on what I was changing into, based on being bitter." He said his rising fame was changing him. He admitted he became bitter that Nivea's career status wasn't matching his, so in his version, he left to protect her from who he was becoming. And Nivea told a very different story.
Mutual agreement to call it a quits. I'm like, it was not. We supposed to say that, but it ain't true. It wasn't no mutual agreement. He wanted to do it, I didn't, but it's done, and I'm dealing with it. And we
Nothing.
I
You had 3
nothing
kids
from him. I just was so. I wanted to wash her in the dryer and 2 purple chairs. I mean, 1 purple chair.
You had 3 kids.
I didn't care. I didn't want nothing from him because I was just so disappointed.
In a rolling out interview, she started to give the standard answer. She said, "It was a mutual agreement to call it quits," and then she stopped herself. She said, "I'm lying. It's not. We're supposed to say that, but it's not true. It wasn't no mutual agreement. He wanted to do it. I didn't, but it's done. I'm dealing with it." Did y'all catch that? She literally corrected interrupted herself mid-sentence. She was about to give the polished answer, it was mutual, and couldn't do it. That's the most honest thing I've ever heard someone say in an interview. And the fact that this clip is going viral right now, baby, people are hearing it for the first time and losing their minds. But that's not even the part that has people really upset. Because wait until you hear what she says she walked away with. Nivea has said in multiple interviews, including her 2021 sit-down with Kandi Burruss, that the couple did not sign a prenup. She said she did not have a lawyer during the divorce. And she said she walked away with essentially a washer, a dryer, and 2 purple chairs. That's her account, and she has repeated it across multiple interviews over the years. She mentioned that a judge did grant her some support, but the specific financial details are not part of the public record. What we do know is her version of what she left with: appliances and furniture. Now, I want y'all to sit with that for a second. No prenup, no lawyer, 3 kids under the age of 2, and she walked away with appliances. Meanwhile, this man went on to sell 75% of his song catalog for $23 million. This is the detail that went viral on X and TikTok in 2025. A thread broke down the whole story, and people could not believe it. The comments were wild. People were debating marriage, sacrifice, financial protection, all of it, and it all traced back to what Nivea said years ago that nobody was paying attention to. Make it make sense. And remember what I said at the top about people hearing all of this differently now? Here's why. The-Dream's 2008 single, I Love Your Girl, the 3rd single from his debut album Love Hate, has also resurfaced on social media. Fans have connected the timeline. Nivea was engaged to Lil Wayne before marrying The-Dream. The-Dream married Wayne's ex-fiancé. Then he dropped a song called I Love Your Girl right around the time of the divorce, which was released on April 15, 2008. Fans have theorized the song was a subliminal aimed at Lil Wayne. Some even connected Wayne's Lollipop as a response. This theory went viral on TikTok and X in 2023. Now, I want to be clear, neither Dream nor Wayne has ever publicly confirmed any of that. It's fan speculation based on the timeline, but the timeline is suspicious. He married Wayne's ex-fiancé, dropped a song called I Love Your Girl, and then Wayne came right back for Nivea the second the divorce was final. You really can't make this up. But it adds another layer that people are now chewing on, that these 2 men may have been going back and forth over Nivea in their music, while she was the one who ended up with the least to show for any of it. Now, if this was just about Nivea and Dream, it would be one thing, but what happened after their divorce is what's making people look at this whole situation differently. Less than a year after the divorce was finalized, The-Dream got engaged to Christina Milian in July 2009. They married in Las Vegas in September 2009, had a second ceremony in Rome in December 2009, and then separated by late 2009 or early 2010. Dream filed for divorce in February 2010, reportedly just days before their daughter Violet Madison Nash was born on February 26, 2010. The divorce was finalized in 2011. Milian has described the marriage as difficult.
American singer-songwriter The-Dream has been accused of sexual and physical assault in a new lawsuit filed by a woman named Janaz Mango, aka Chani Monroe. In a lawsuit filed in California federal court, she accused the music producer of
On June 4, 2024, a former protege named Chanez Mangro, who performed under the stage name Chani Monroe, filed a federal lawsuit against The-Dream in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. Now, I want to be very clear about this. These are allegations. He has denied them. There has been no verdict, but the lawsuit is real and it is serious. According to the complaint as reported by Billboard and Variety, the plaintiff alleges that Dream used promises of career advancement to take advantage of a young and vulnerable artist. The attorneys representing the plaintiff are from the same law firm that represented Cassie Ventura in her case. The-Dream responded. He told the New York Times, "These claims are untrue and defamatory. I oppose all forms of harassment and have always strived to help people realize their career goals." His attorney filed a motion to dismiss in August 2024, calling the complaint a shotgun pleading and denying all claims. That motion was denied as moot in September 2024, after the plaintiff filed an amended complaint. The label defendant Sony was dismissed from the case in April 2025, but the claims against Dream and his company Contra Paris remain active. A jury trial was scheduled for June 7, 2026, before a federal judge. There was also an incident in 2014 where Dream was arrested on allegations involving a then-pregnant girlfriend at a New York hotel. Prosecutors dropped those charges in 2015, citing insufficient evidence. Now, the reason all of this matters for this video is not because I'm saying he's guilty of anything that hasn't been proven. What I am saying is that people people are going back to Nivea's old interviews. Everything she said about how the marriage ended, how she was left with nothing, how it wasn't her choice, and they are hearing it through a completely different lens now. Whether that's fair or not, that's what's happening. That's why those old clips are resurfacing. That's why people are sharing them. And that's why we're here. Which brings us to right now, because Nivea just shared some news that nobody saw coming. In July 2026, on the Cadillac Chronicles interview series, Nivea revealed that she had been diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia in early 2026. Her representative told People magazine, "I was diagnosed with CML in early 2026. As incredibly surprised as I was to have the diagnosis confirmed after 2 bone marrow biopsy procedures, I was profoundly thankful that it wasn't blast, which would have meant chemotherapy as part of the treatment." She told ABC News, "Life for me has changed in various ways, but treatment thus far is working, taking it day by day with a positive mindset and a heart full of gratitude." She's 44 years old. She came back with her album Mirrors in 2019. She appeared on BET Presents The Encore in 2021 and on Peacock's Queen's Court in 2023. She told the press that both The-Dream and Lil Wayne supported her going on that show. She quoted Dream as saying, "Oh wow, this is crazy. You're gonna make everyone laugh." And she said Wayne told her, "Do your thing. I know it's going to be a great experience." She and Dream co-parent their 3 children. By multiple accounts, they're on good terms and have shown up together for milestones like their twins' high school graduation. She's studying audio engineering. She's still making music. She's still here. And that's the part that gets me about Nivea. After everything, the career she had to fight to get back, the marriage that wasn't her choice to end, walking away with nothing, the personal battles she's been open about, she's still standing. Now she's battling a leukemia diagnosis with the same energy she's fought everything else. Head on, no excuses, still going. Here's the thing about old interviews resurfacing. Sometimes people hear them the first time and move on, but sometimes the world catches up to what someone was really saying, and I think that's what's happening with Nivea right now. She told us exactly what happened. She said it wasn't mutual. She said she walked away with a washer and dryer and 2 purple chairs, while this man's catalog was worth millions. She said all of this years ago. We just weren't listening. Now people are. And between the Christina Milian marriage, the allegations in 2024, and Nivea's own health update, reminding everybody she exists, people are finally connecting the dots on a story that was right there in front of us the whole time. So I want to know what y'all think. Do you think The-Dream was honest about why he ended the marriage, or was there more to it than he's letting on? And with everything that's come out since, the lawsuit, the pattern, Nivea's health update, do you think people are finally going to give Nivea the credit and the recognition she's deserved this whole time? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.